At this point, we all know that fat loss foundationally comes down to a calorie deficit. You burn more calories than you consume, and that over a period of time results in fat loss, weight loss, etc. Strength training as well, we know, is imperative when you are in the process of losing fat or reducing your body fat percentage, because it helps preserve muscle. We also know that cardio can be utilized as a tool to burn more calories, which will put you in a further calorie deficit. So whether it's traditional cardio or you're just getting your steps in, all that helps to burn calories, and that's the foundation. But today I want to talk about 5 unconventional fat loss tips that you probably don't hear anybody talking about, which could aid the foundations that I just listed, that could help and make getting leaner easier, that could help control your hunger, your appetite, and make fat loss somewhat effortless. Okay, let's dive right into it. The first tip is to front load protein and fiber and then backload carbs. Have you ever wondered why, people can diet without feeling ravenous, whilst others are like constantly hungry and complaining about how hungry they are throughout the entire process and how they are like willing to throw in the towel any day soon? The difference is that the people who tend to struggle less during the fat loss phase are people who prioritize protein, especially during the early hours of the day. If you are able to allocate about 80 to 100 grams of protein right off the bat when you eat in the morning, you are setting yourself up for success that particular day. And when you pair it with fiber, you even make success pretty much guaranteed, because you're going to be fuller. The food is going to take a long time to digest. The thermic effect of food is also something that's associated with high protein intake. So you burn more calories just digesting protein. So you could use that to your advantage. So have like 100 grams of protein in the earlier parts of the day. I typically fast till about noon, and then I slam a ton of protein. I'm currently in the fat loss phase as well, so these are some of the strategies that I'm using. Also, another theory that's come out called the protein leverage hypothesis, which is basically a theory that suggests that our bodies drive us to eat until we get enough protein. So anytime your protein intake is low, we unconsciously overeat calories to compensate for the fact that we're not getting enough protein in. So once you are able to leverage protein earlier on in the day, we are naturally going to eat less. Your appetite hormones for the day are going to be downregulated. So start your day with a high protein, high fiber meal, and you'll notice that your food cravings and your hunger overall will be better controlled. The next tip is to use adaptogenic herbs to your advantage. Now, I personally like to use adaptogens like ginger. Okay, ginger contains ginger rolls, which is a compound in ginger that has been shown to reduce inflammation, to improve digestion and overall sense of well-being. It may also help to regulate your blood sugar levels, which indirectly or even directly keeps your hunger in check. Okay, I use adaptogens like cinnamon. I use garlic. Garlic contains allicin. Allicin is also linked to increased metabolic rate and appetite suppression as well. I use cloves. Okay, I don't use them every single day, but I like to cycle, on a day-to-day basis, depending on how I'm feeling and whatnot. And these herbs give a different feel. They tend to uplift you and give you a sense of well-being. Adaptogens in general are there to essentially help us to adapt to environmental stresses, physiological stressors. And a calorie deficit is a stressor. And so when you incorporate some of these in your cooking or just as a standalone type of consumption, because I, for example, just like to chew on ginger, or I might drink some cloves water, or I'll just chew on some garlic or something like that, and you would get a boost in energy, and it helps you to adapt to the stress of the calorie deficit, making it more tolerable overall. Try and add this to your toolbox and let me know how it helps you. The third tip is to constantly consume fat loss content. Now, this one is more of a psychological trick. Okay, you are basically tricking your reticular activation system, which is the RAS. It's talked about elaborately by most psychologists and people in that field about the fact that that system is a network in your brain that filters whatever you consider important to you. So, for example, how can you use it to your advantage? If you are constantly watching videos about transformations, okay, fat loss transformation, success stories, following fitness influencers that you resonate with, okay, consuming such content is basically telling your brain to prioritize those habits on a day-to-day basis. So if you ever notice that you are thinking about something and all of a sudden you start to see that thing every single day, that's the RAS at work. And so use it to your advantage when it comes to fat loss. Surround yourself with people who are fat loss oriented, people who share the same goals as you in real life, and at the same time online, make sure that the content that you are consuming is surrounding fat loss and transformation and self-development. That way you're able to flood your feed with that content. The algorithm is going to keep reminding you and bringing up stuff that are going to be constant reinforcers of your fat loss goals, and you will find out that you're just subconsciously logged in, and you stay logged in without even thinking about it. You ride the wave and you're eventually going to get to your goal. The fourth tip is to utilize low intensity steady state cardio to your advantage with regards to reducing your appetite. And so, contrary to what people think that burning calories by moving around will make you ravenous, low intensity cardio is different. High intensity cardio, on the other hand, could actually spike your blood sugar levels, spike cortisol, okay, make you hungrier. But low impact cardio like walking, a little bit of stair climbing and all of that actually helps to regulate your nervous system. And so it lowers your blood sugar levels, it stabilizes it throughout the day, and as such your hunger is going to be reduced. So basically it is increasing your parasympathetic state, which is the rest and digest state, by doing such an activity, which helps to keep your appetite in check. It improves insulin sensitivity, it improves your blood sugar stability as well, which essentially is going to prevent the crashes and all of that throughout the day, giving you stable energy levels throughout the day. And so if you're somebody who struggles with hunger, add in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes of walking daily, especially before or after meals, and you would notice a massive difference in your appetite. Now, my fifth and final tip for today is to stay busy and use the sympathetic state to your advantage. What is a sympathetic state? Basically, a state of stress. Now, when you are in a calorie deficit, your body is in a slightly stressed state. Your body is not comfortable getting rid of its fat tissue. And so your sympathetic nervous system is more active. But the kicker here is that you could actually use it to your advantage. Now, when you are in sympathetic state, or a lot of people call it the flight or fight state, which is basically a fancy word for saying that you are in a highly heightened focused state, which is caused by a rise in cortisol, basically putting you in a stressful state. But then this stressful state could be advantageous because your focus tends to be more heightened when you're in a sympathetic state. Your alertness, your cognition tends to be more there. Your sharpness is also there. So you could use it to your advantage. How could you do that? By staying busy and using the period of deprivation and calorie restriction to learn a new skill, rather than just sit down all day and fantasize about eating donuts and all of that. Use this particular period of time that you're trying to lose fat to learn a new skill, to partake in a hobby, okay, to get more creative, be more productive at work, okay, start a side hustle. The key here is to not overdo the calorie deficit, because if you do that, all the advantages that I'm listing right now are actually going to be the opposite. The opposite is going to happen. You're going to get brain fog, low energy, you're going to be irritable, everybody's going to piss you off. So try these out. Let me know in the comment section if it helped you out. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.